welcome to Traveling Inside Out. This is Alina, your host. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and welcome back to the podcast that explores the world within and out. And I am still very upset about yesterday when I had no sound. I think what I'm going to try to do is um, uh, I'm gonna probably do a voiceover over the video. So that's gonna be what I'm thinking to do. But right now, I'm getting distracted by my background. So I think I'm gonna go back to have a blurry background because I'm getting distracted by it. Um, Welcome everybody. It's so crazy because yesterday was such a lovely day and I had a lot of fun. And also, I had people watching after the video ended, after the recording ended, and now I'm just so very upset. I'm triple checking. I don't know what happened yesterday. um yeah, I don't know because I didn't use the microphone, so maybe the setting was still on the microphone while I didn't have the microphone. I'm not sure. Anyway, let's go to the tea. I was also excited yesterday about the tea because it was cinnamon tea, but I didn't feel the flavor of cinnamon that much. Oh, so today I'm matching my t-shirt that I had it. I shown it before. I showed this t-shirt before, and I love it very much. The today today's tea, and I'm showing the back of it. Today's tea is peppermint bark black tea. Again, I'm doing the tea advent calendar, not a sponsor, from Aldi's, from Tea Co Banner. Um, the majority of them are black or green tea, and then some flavor. Let's see if the peppermint is gonna come through because last time when we had the mint, spearmint, or whatever, didn't feel at all that thing. So, because as I was saying, I'm still kind of upset about yesterday and I'm trying to figure out how to do it, how to salvage the thing. These things happen. I know I'm not considering myself a YouTuber as in the sense that like I'm YouTubing and making money out of it. But I know other content creators that effed up and then they moved on. And I'm going to try to do that. But yesterday I was so upset that I was like, okay, I don't think I'm going to do this anymore, um, to try the teas and everything. Anyway, I am. I decided to read again a tea fact for the day. Thank you to my husband who who very well. I asked him to double check on me to make sure that the audio works. If you couldn't tell that I'm doing this all by myself, now after yesterday, you know for a fact that I'm doing this all by myself. Um, so yeah, I wanted to read a bit of tea facts because I have been not reading some of it, and and I wanted to read a bit about the cultivation and harvesting because I remember 8 years ago, or how many years ago, when I was in South America, I went to, we went to try some wineries, like to visit some wineries in Mendoza. What we didn't realize, and I mentioned this before as well, is that we weren't prepared for the wineries to close by like 4 p.m. or 2 p.m. or something like that. And we went a bit later in the day, and I'm like, I'm sorry, you're meant to do all of these wine tours at 10 a.m. in the morning. Why? Like, it made no sense to me. uh, so because we went late and we didn't manage to do, like, it was me and a friend that I made there, and we were on the bikes, and we were kind of excited to try different wineries. And then we were told from like three places where we'd be like, no, we already got last group, or it's already closed. So we ended up going to one of the places where also an olive oil um, place, and we learned more about olive oil and about olive trees and so on. And I was shocked to realize that it's taking I feel like 40 something years for an olive tree to grow. And I was like, no wonder that the olive oil is so precious. uh, and so I want to talk kind of the same about tea, because it depends obviously on the kind of tea that you are cultivating. But I think would be interested to hear how long it takes for the tea plant to grow. Anyway, so, for example, Camellia sinensis is an evergreen plant that grows mainly in tropical and subtropical climates. Some varieties can tolerate oceanic climates and are cultivated as far as Cornwall in England, Perthshire in Scotland, Washington in the United States, and Vancouver Island in Canada. In the southern hemisphere, tea is grown as far south as Hobart in Tasmania and Waikato in New Zealand. Tea plants are propagated from seed and cuttings. About 4 to 12 years are needed for a plant to bear seed, and about 3 years before a new plant is ready for harvesting. In addition to a zone 8 climate or warmer, tea plants require at least 127 centimeters or 50-inch in rainfall per year and prefer acidic soils. Many high quality tea plants are cultivated at elevations of up to 1,500 meters or 4,900 feet above sea level. Though at these heights, the plants grow more slowly, they acquire a better flavor. So maybe that's why some of the tea um, in China, for example, it's so great, or Sri Lanka, or like, I don't know, it's because it's elevated. I'm imagining. Uh, so those, yeah, so it takes about 4 to 12 years are needed for a plant to bear seeds, and about, and I was speaking about this specific plant. Okay, let's have a sip. Let me see. Let's have a sippy sip. It's something wrong with my taste buds. I don't I don't even smell the peppermint bark. That's supposed to really hit you in your feelings, right? It's not hitting me. It's not hitting me in no feelings. And I promise you I have some sort of feelings. Honestly, I don't truly know and understand. But ow, 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 ow. Regardless, it's a good tea. It's a regular black tea, but I don't feel the taste. So let's see what it says on the back. It says chocolate flavor, spearmint flavor. I'm not tasting no chocolate. I'm not tasting no spearmint. Sorry, tea. I mean, it's a lovely black tea, but I don't feel the flavor of all of that. So it's not happening. Okay. I'm gonna move on to um let me see. There's a lot of varieties, as I was saying, obviously, of the tea and so on. Um but for example, a tea plant will grow into a tree of up to 16 meters, 52 feet, if left undisturbed. But cultivated plants are generally prone to waste height for ease of plucking. I never knew that. So basically, they are forcing the plant to be shorter so they can easily manage it. Basically, the short plants bear more new shoots, which provide new and tender leaves and increase the quality of the tea. Well, I stand corrected. It's also for other reasons. um A plant will grow a new flush every 7 to 15 days during the growing season. Leaves that are slow in development tend to produce better flavored teas. Several teas are available from specified flushes. For example, Darjeeling tea is available as first flush, second flush, monsoon, and autumn. So the first flush is a premium price. And that is said, I never knew any of this. Assam second flush or TPT is considered superior to first flush because of the gold tips that appear on the leaves. So depending on when you pick it, it's actually changed. I did not know that. I was not aware of that at all. So tea is mainly grown in Asia and Africa, with smaller areas in South America and around the Black and Caspian seas. Black Sea? Romania has Black Sea. I don't think they mean in Romania though. On the other side of the Black Sea. Anyway, in 2022, the tea production was as follows from the highest to lowest: China, India, Kenya, Sri Lanka, Turkey, Vietnam, Indonesia, Bangladesh, Argentina, and Uganda. And yeah, probably someone somewhere in South America because they have the mate, which is really, really, really good. Okay, that's it for the day about the tea facts, information, and stuff. And I promise in the next 9 minutes, I promise that I'm going to talk a little bit about the Icelandic Christmas. Again, I'm not from Iceland. I have lived in Iceland for all in all maybe around 6 years, 5 years. I don't know because I kept moving in and out, but around 5, 6 years. And I did get accustomed to some of their traditions in Iceland. But I mentioned before the movie Red. Was it just Red, the name of the movie? I think so. With Chris Evans and Rock Dwayne Johnson, The Rock, whatever. I don't know the order in which I'm supposed to say his name. I hate that I can't remember. But either way, that guy and few others, obviously. And in that movie, they are mentioning one of the Icelandic characters, Grilla. It is not a spoiler, in my opinion. So, who was actually Grilla? So, I did make this as a joke, and I think the joke is still gonna keep going. I keep saying that Icelandic people, and I guess maybe in a way Germans as well, they don't like their children because it's really spooky. Like Christmas has really spooky characters. In Romania, we don't have anyone spooky. We don't have anyone like we just don't have anyone spooky. Um so it says in the folklore. Oh, and maybe tomorrow if I'm going to prepare, maybe I'm going to share some pictures because I was visiting one of the places where some of the characters were actually alive, and you're gonna understand. I'm gonna tell more about it probably tomorrow. But in the I'm reading from off Wikipedia. Icelandic Christmas folklore. It's about peop- some monsters, if you may, that live in the mountains and they come to town during Christmas. The point of the stories is to basically scare the children into being good and uh, clean, or bait and all of that. But it's still very like it's I don't like it. The point is that there are 13 Santa Clauses, 13 brothers that they each individually come to town every day. And they are kind of mischievous and they are kind of pranking the children. So every day they're supposed to bring a gift. But if you haven't been well, if you haven't been well throughout the year, you're going to get a potato. Now, the thing with the potato, I was very confused because I was like, honestly, I don't know if I would maybe as a kid, I would feel like, oh, I would rather have a toy than a potato. But as an adult, I'm like, a potato is a potato. Like, a potato is so versatile. Like, how are you going to hate on a potato? However, Wikipedia says that it's a rotten potato, which I didn't know up until I just read now from Wikipedia. So I'm like, okay, if they get a rotten potato, then for sure that's not great. So they are meant to all live together. So we have Grilla, and she is is that the word? I'm sorry, what? Ogress? As in an ogre, and then the lady ogre, so Fiona, spoiler alert, is an ogress? I didn't know that. Anyway, so this Grilla, that she's a mischievous lady, and she's a big mischievous lady, she has an appetite for the flesh of children. Like she eats children. What? And she has a large pot and she cooks the children in that large pot. So her husband, that is called mm, Lepalute, huh? Something like that. I don't know how to pronounce it. Uh, it's just a lazy bum and he's not doing much. He's just staying by the cave. Then we have the Yule cat. If you go to Iceland, you're going to see, especially during Christmas time or like in November, December, you're going to see all sort of figurines of big cats. I know that there's one in the north, the capital of the north in Akureyri. Uh, and I took a picture by it. And then it's either like made out of wooden or like some lights or things like that. There's always a Yule cat, which is, she's also a vicious cat. It's like a humongous vicious cat that eats people. Who ha- they eat people if they didn't receive new clothes or and they're not wearing them on Christmas Eve. So, well, first and foremost, that's also a very interesting tradition because in Romania, I know that we have this for Easter, that you're supposed to have new clothes and stuff like that. But we don't have for Christmas that you're supposed to be in new clothes at all. And so that's interesting to me that's part of the tradition. And then, as I was saying, the sons of Grilla and whatever her husband's name is are the 13 siblings that they are all basically coming to town one by one by one by one, and they bring, as I was saying, either um presents or the rotten potato. And the kids are supposed, I think this was the point, the kids are supposed to put the shoes by the window every night and they will get something in the shoe. And my understanding from some of my Icelandic friends is that they're going the children, they go the next day to school and you have to show the present. If you don't show the present, that means that you got a potato. So you haven't been good and everybody's gonna bullying you. No, I'm joking. I'm joking. Bullying is not a joke. Everybody's gonna be like, okay, so you haven't been nice. Um, there's a lot more to tell, but I do want to say the names. Let me see. Yeah. There's a lot more to the history. For whoever is interested to learn more about it, you can go ahead. There's a lot of information on the internet. But the 13 Yule lads have specific names. And obviously, I was never able to pronounce correctly in Icelandic because that language broke my brain. But they all have different names and different description as in what each individual is doing. And I decided to talk about it today because starting tomorrow they're gonna come one by one by one by one, and then they are also leaving one by one by one by one, and the last one leaves on the 6th of January if I remember correctly, and that's when the main bonfires happen. I can talk more about it maybe in another episode. Okay, so we have the 13 names. All the Icelandic friends, if you are watching this, you can laugh at me as much as you want. If you actually are one of my dear friends, you know how much I struggled with that language of yours. Or you can just laugh at me regardless, if you are from Iceland or not. But I'm gonna try to see if I can say this. The funny bit is this. So as I was saying, they come one by one by one by one, and then they leave the same order that they arrived, right? So the first one is Stekkjaraustur, sheepcoat clad, harasses sheep but is impaired by his stiff peg legs. Then we have Giljagur, Gollygog, hides in gullies waiting for an opportunity to sneak into the cowshed and steal milk. Stubber, stubby, abnormally short, steals pans for the food baked to the bottoms and brims. First Clady, I don't know how to say this one. Thor, Thorus Laker. Spoon licker. The spoon licker is my favorite. Steals wooden spoons being used for cooking, extremely thin from malnutrition. Potta Scapeville. Potta Potta Scapeville. Scapeville. Whatever. Bowl licker. Hides under beds waiting for the wooden food bowls placed on the floor. Hurda Scapeville. I don't know. Door slammer. Enjoy slamming doors, especially during the night, waking up the household. Skirgamur. No, wait. I have to do this. Skirgabler has a great. I don't think I'm pronouncing any of them correct. Skirgabler has a great affinity for Skir, original style of yogurt. Bukna Kriker. Gaumer. Oh, Skirgaumer. I think that was the name. And the next one, Bugna Kriker. Sausage swiper. Hides in the rafters and snatches sausages that are being smoked. Glugagir. Window peeper. That's the creepiest one. A snoop who looks through windows in search of things to steal. Gauta Fefur. Doorway sniffer. Has an abnormally large nose and an acute sense of smell, which he uses to locate laufbread, which is a traditional bread that they usually make around Christmas. Petrokur, meat hook, uses a hook to steal meat. And Kertasniker, candle beggar, follows children to steal their precious candles made of tallow and thus edible. Okay, I know my pronunciation was horrible, not even close to how they sound in Icelandic. I'm sorry. I live there quite enough. I have not managed to conquer that language at all. Tomorrow I'm gonna try to find some pictures. We can see some pictures for those who want to join video, and we can also do. I've already forgot my point. Oh my God. I don't remember what I wanted to say. That's how an ADHD brain works. I forget what I'm saying in the middle of the sentence because at the same time, in my brain, I have other thoughts that are being replaced with the thoughts that I need in order to form sentences. That happens. So, anyway, tomorrow I'm going to show pictures of them and maybe show some pictures of me when I went in the north of the country and I've met some of the said Yule lads. But the children loves them. And that was crazy to see how technically they are mischievous and so on, but then all children love them. That being said, I've overdone it. This tea, I'm gonna give it a. I was thinking to give it a 3 because it's a nice black tea, but honestly, I think I'm gonna give it a 2 because if you're promising chocolate and peppermint bark, and I taste none of that, there's gonna be a 2, and maybe it's going to a 1 if I'm gonna think about it a bit more. Anyway, thank you everyone and anyone who joined. I appreciate the people who are watching afterwards, and hopefully tomorrow I'm gonna once again have sound. See you tomorrow. This concludes today's episode. Thank you for listening and for reviewing Traveling Inside Out. If you want to get in touch with me, send an email to podcast@alinaigrad.com. And remember, your outer journey begins with inner work. Until next time, bye.